Okay, hi everybody. My name is Trevor Johns. I'm the president of Upsilon to Epsilon, the Computer Science Honor Society here at USC. And so tonight, for our 7 o'clock talk, it's more of a laid-back thing. It's not a tech talk. It's just an info session for the contest. So this year, since one of the things we noticed last year is we spent a lot of time last time just going and getting everybody's stuff. So we're trying to have everybody prepared so that when they get there, they have the full 24 hours to go and actually code. We'll be there to go and answer any questions, tell people to get set up and all that, but ideally we'd like everybody to go and just be ready to start coding once the contest starts. So that's pretty much our agenda for tonight. We're going to go over what's going to be expected during the contest, the rules, the schedule, what needs to be done as far as uploading code and presenting it. And then at the end, we're going to have a little bit of time to go and form teams, since we've heard that some people are still looking for teams to join. So if that applies to any of you, this would be a good time to go and meet some fellow people to go and create a team. So first thing, just to make sure you guys know, the contest itself is not here in Sal, it's in Topping. So that's over by Carl's Jr. between Commons and CHS. So I think everybody should know where that is. It's on the map, it's TSD. The contest starts at noon on Sunday. We hope to have registration done by 12:30, so ideally arrive at noon and we'll get you checked in, but we'll have the registration table manned until 12:30. So the goal of the contest, of course, is to create the most creative application you can within 24 hours. As far as the format, we're not very picky. It can be a desktop application, it can be web-based, it can be mobile. As long as you can go and present it somehow. If it's mobile, that might be a little tricky. I'm not sure how we can pull that one off, but hopefully you have a desktop emulator or something if you're doing that.
Well, if you develop an Android app, Android is Google's web platform. So if you develop an Android app, you can demonstrate the app on the SDK on the desktop machine.
Right. So the catch is that it has to fit within the contest theme. The contest theme has intentionally not been released yet. There's two reasons why we have the theme. The first is to keep people from spending an entire week coding it, and the second is to go and apply some constraints. That way, when we actually go and judge it, we have at least some sort of common ground among all the entries. We're going to be announcing the theme this year. It's going to be announced tomorrow at 7 o'clock, which is a little different from last year. Last year we announced it right at the start of the contest. We'd like people to have a little bit of time to go and think about what they actually want to develop. So this way, we hope that people will have a chance to think about it. Though please don't start coding until the contest starts. Hopefully nobody here can stay up for 48 hours. So
yeah. There is one more catch, and
yes, that's on the next slide.
Okay.
Is that the Google catch?
Yeah.
Actually, that's two
Okay.
slides. It's coming up.
The catch is.
Yes, that's there. So rules. Of course, it's a 24-hour coding contest. Starts at noon on Sunday, ends at noon on Monday. Monday's President's Day, so there's no class. The 24 hours is a hard deadline, so at one point we're going to say stop, you have to upload your code, and then everybody's going to go and present it, which is the next point. You have to be present during the presentations to win anything. Last year we had some teams who just said, we've uploaded it, can you just look at it on the wiki? And we have to say no because, first off, we can't go and download everybody's code, compile it, and test it. And it just gets really complicated. So we ask that you're there to actually go and present it in front of everybody.
It's a really small, informal presentation, about between 2 and 5 minutes.
Yeah, should be short, and there might be some faculty in attendance too. And there'll be people there from Google, so we really want people to go and be demonstrating what they've made. Should be mostly new code. 80% is our guideline. It's we're not going to sit there and go and look through it line by line and see what's new and what's not. So ideally, it's all brand new stuff. Though if you want to go and enhance some existing code that you've been working on, that's fine. But we ask if you do that you tell us. And then when we go and judge it, we're going to just present what you've done that's new. And so that way, we'll just look at what you wrote during the 24 hours. Yeah.
What if you have a lot of snippet codes that are just examples, and you save them all in one big file, and then you just pull them off as you go and change it for your actual application? Is that considered new code, or?
Like, what do you mean by snippets?
Oh, it's just like you want to just we have a lot of map. How do you do this with the map, and how do you do that with the map?
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Okay, that's not considered.
No, we just don't want somebody to go and take something that they've been working on for the last several months and then just present it and say, hey, look how awesome this is, because it's really not fair. If you only have 24 hours and you've been working on it for months and months, Oh yeah, and then teams have to be up to 4 people. You can work alone if you want. We really discourage it though, but we're not going to stop you if you insist on it. No more than 4 people though, because that also tends to be unfair because you have more manpower. So at least in theory, you can produce better code. And here's the other catch that Jason mentioned. Since this is the Google All-Nighter, you have to use at least one Google technology. So that can be, you can use Maps, or you can use Google Web Toolkit. They don't have to be APIs. It can be anything pretty much from code.google.com. And you don't have to use only Google stuff. In fact, we'd like to see you use other companies' stuff too, because then you get some really interesting stuff that comes out of that. So that's why I say you're encouraged to use other technologies as well. Huh? We'll get to it today.
Okay.
Yeah. So as far as rules go, code must be documented. So this way, it doesn't have to be much, but we should at least know how to go and download and build your code and have an idea what it does. It has to be open source. We don't care what license, but you got to pick something. And that's also partly because of the next rule, which is it has to be uploaded to Google Project Hosting. Specifically, it has to be in Subversion, so don't just upload a tarball into the download section. You actually want to be able to go and look through your code in the web-based browser and see what's in there. And then just for convenience, when you create the project, tag it with USC GAN, that's Google All-Nighter 2008. And so that way the judges will be able to go and just see an overview of everything. And also Google Project Hosting is cool. So. And then, like I said, we reserve the right to inspect the code. We probably won't because that could take way too long, but it does need to be there. And we'd like to at least see some history of development, so not just one big upload an hour before judging. It's also one of the things we're trying to do to prevent people from working on it ahead of time.
Also, we're hoping to have similar projects both at USC and other schools in the future. So we'd like to have your projects on Google Project Hosting so we can go out to other schools and show them, hey, these are what these awesome USC developers made during our first contest. So.
Yeah. So, and also this is also going to serve as the wiki page for each team. Last year we had a dedicated wiki set up, and we're not doing that this year. So all of whatever information you want to include, just go and put it on the wiki that you get with each project. So schedule, like I said, the contest starts at 12 o'clock, and check-in is 30 minutes. So we want to have everybody set up by 12:30. If you didn't go to the Subversion talk and you don't know how to use Google Project Hosting, we'll be helping you with that at 1:30. But hopefully you can just go and take a look at the YouTube thing. So ideally, that's just if you have any questions. At 2 o'clock, we're going to go through and just see who's actually there, and so that's why we need to have everything in Google Project Hosting and tagged. So if we don't see your project, we assume that team didn't show up. And then aside from that, it's pretty much just coding for the rest of the day. We'll have dinner at 8 o'clock, and at 3 a.m. we'll have a movie or something, if you guys are still awake, which most people I think were last year actually, 3. And then breakfast will also be served. Contest ends, actually I'm not sure if that should be noon or not.
It should be.
Yeah, it should be noon. So the contest ends at noon, and then we start presentations. Presentations go for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah,
we should have food during presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lunch, you don't have to wait till 3 for lunch. We'll have lunch for you every night.
Yeah. And then, so I guess the award ceremony is at 2:30. It's off by now. So yeah, and then 2:30, you go basically whoever won gets the prizes. Again, you have to show up to actually get prizes. So
There's some
we're
awesome
not buying
prizes,
stuff
by the
here.
way.
What are the prizes?
Ferrari, you like that?
That works. That
It's
works.
pretty sweet. I drove it last night. Kind of dented it a little bit, but it's still a Ferrari. Do you want to say what the actual prize are?
You mean a Ferrari?
No, that's mine.
Oh, okay.
No, I took it. It's a little company gift.
We have all kinds of stuff. We have everything ranging from Google bean bags and backpacks and cool branded stuff like that. We have iPod shuffles. We have Amazon gift certificates. We have a plethora of different choices. So you have your choice of bundles. So I think Trevor's going to get to what prize categories there are in a few minutes. So
Yes.
we'll just talk about that a little bit more.
All right, parking, just because this is more for the people coming from UCLA or something. If you're here at GSC, you're probably familiar with how parking works. But if you need to know, you can buy parking at the gate when you get on campus. costs about $8 per day. You should buy 2 days in a row. As far as I know, parking will still be open on President's Day, but that you don't have to drive out, drive back in. Or alternatively, you can always drive right up to TSC. There's a loading area, drop your equipment off, and then park somewhere off campus and not pay $60. If you're concerned about that. So uploading code, I mentioned already, should be on Google Project Hosting. The website's there. Be sure to label your code with USC GAN 2008. Submit throughout the contest. And then, if there's any doubt as to what your final submission is going to be, create a tag within Subversion called USC GAN 2008-submission. That's not so important. That's more just so the judges can find it if they need. You know, the important thing is that your code is out there. So, and so just, you know, if you go into Google Code and click on Project Hosting, create a project. You know, the important thing is this right here. That label needs to be there so we can find it. Other than that, you can put pretty much whatever you want. Select your own license. Pick a good name, hopefully. Put your own characters. All right. Now the interesting stuff. So I already mentioned you have to be there for judging and the award ceremony. The themes, or the categories. There's 6 of them. Best overall, best use of the theme, best technical achievement, most useful, most fun, and best idea. So there's no first place, second place, third place. And each team that wins in this will get one of the prize packages. All right. There's a chance we might go and change these topics slightly. If that happens, we'll send out an announcement to the group. And we're going to actually go and finalize what bundles go with what and post them on the wiki, right?
The point of the bundles is that you get to choose your bundle.
Yeah, I mean like what the bundles are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the actual list of prizes will be posted on. Let's see. Email. There's an official Google group. I think most people in the contest are on it, looking at the number of subscribers, but I know there are some who aren't. So if you have not registered for this group, you really want to do so. Otherwise, you won't get official emails about the contest. All you need to do is just go in there, log in into your account, and click join, and then tell us if you want to receive email. If you want to receive email. You can also use it to go and ask any questions, either as far as rules go, the judges monitor it, or you can go and ask other teams questions if you're looking for ideas. This is also a good place to go and look for people for your teams, which I'll get to in just a minute. Registration. Basically, there's no deadline, so just be sure to register at some point. Well, there's a deadline. The deadline is the start of the contest, so be sure you register before then, though ideally, please don't register like right at noon, because we use it to go and figure out how many people are attending. And so if we get like 20 people or 50 people who, for whatever reason, all of a sudden register, that throws that off all of our calculations, and we'll have trouble getting food for everybody, which really sucks.
Has everyone here registered? Just out of curiosity. Who hasn't registered? Okay.
Okay. One right.
That's no problem.
Yeah. And then there was a few questions beforehand. If you have teammates who have decided that they wanted to and then they couldn't participate, there is no unjoin, unregister button. So if that's the case, either post a message to the group or send Jason an email, and we'll manually unregister you. So, but you know, again, it's just for planning purposes. We know what to expect. All right. So as far as the actual contest logistics, I think that's all the important stuff. If you guys have any questions, we can go ahead and answer them now. Any questions? No? Yeah.
Are you just posting the theme on the website?
We're going to go ahead and it'll be posted to the Google group under Pages, and then we'll also send out an email.
Okay.
Like all the official documentation is on the Google group under Pages. So that's sort of like the global wiki for this. Yeah.
In terms of topping, is there gonna be like internet provided?
Internet will be provided. It will be using Wi-Fi. Jason. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have Wi-Fi there. We're actually not going to be using USC Wi-Fi because there is USC Wi-Fi, but it's unreliable. So we'll be setting up a separate network there.
And is there like workspaces like whiteboards or?
Yeah. The third floor is all like workrooms, and they have whiteboards. They may not have markers, so bring markers if you really want to use them. But yeah, there's nothing going to be whiteboards. The basement, I don't know if that has whiteboards, but I think last year we used on the third floor. Yep. Oh yeah, and if you bring a desktop computer, I think there are Ethernet jacks scattered around the place, and some work, some don't. So basically, They have to pay for each jack they activate, and they're not going to activate any of them specifically for us. So basically it's whatever they've had to use in the past is turned on. And so if you need to use Ethernet, just arrive as early as you can and find the jacks that work, and then claim that spot as yours. Okay. I think most of the rooms had at least one jack that worked. Everybody's here is a USC student, right? So you know the way it works. You have to, if you use Ethernet, you have to be registered with ITS, and you can't use out. So, yeah. Any other questions? Okay, cool. So, I just wanted to leave a whole bunch of time at the end. So if there's anybody here who does not have a group yet, you guys can go and find fellow teammates. If you want to go up here and I can announce you, or you can just go talk amongst yourselves, whatever you think is best. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and break until the Google Talk at 8 o'clock. All right. Thank you all for coming, and I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday.